Retirement. That stage in life when hardworking Americans stop working for a paycheck and begin living off the money they've worked so hard to accumulate. The decision to retire is one of the most difficult and important financial decisions one can make. It's not just the uncertainty of when to retire, it's also the many financial decisions that will come along with retiring and continue long into retirement. For instance, what age is the best age to begin drawing Social Security? What will my future cost of health care be? Assuming you're one of the lucky few to have an employer-provided pension, should you take it as a lump sum or in monthly installments? What about that 401k you've been saving money into? Did you realize that all those pre-tax funds you've contributed will one day be taxed, and at what rate? And finally, the biggest decision of all is who are you going to trust to invest your life savings with? No wonder the 10,000 Americans turning 65 each and every day are so worried about running out of money. Well, folks, I have good news, because today we are going to hear from one of the leading authorities on the subject of retirement in the country. Someone who has personally met with over 15,000 savers, overseen nearly 5,000 written retirement game plans, and currently serves the retirement needs of more than 2,500 clients. And best of all, this best-selling author and fiduciary is right in our own backyard. Even in the best of times, retirement isn't easy. There's plenty of things to worry about. Gone are the days of rolling your 401k into a bank CD and earning 6% on your money, living off the interest and leaving the principal to loved ones at your death. Today, with banks paying next to nothing in interest, our nation's debt going through the roof, and the prospects of the stock market crashing at any time, and with people living longer than ever before, the fear of ultimately running out of money in retirement is a real possibility. That is, until nationally recognized retirement planning specialist Tony Walker created a proprietary 5-step process specifically designed to help savers retire worry-free.
I started managing money back in the 90s, and boy, were those good times. In fact, I can remember the Wall Street Journal did an article with monkeys throwing darts at a dartboard to pick out stocks. It was that easy. That is, until that fateful day of 9/11 when all of the stocks that we held for our clients came crashing down. These were scary times, and I remember thinking the only response I had from my clients who called upset over what was going on was, hang in there. And from that point forward, I didn't want to ever put that much of my clients' money at risk again.
For 3 straight years, between 2000 and 2002, the stock market was in a free fall. Worse yet, assuming you retired in 2000 with $500,000 in your 401k and needed $40,000 a year from it to live on, after the downturn in the stock market beginning in 2003, your account would have decreased all the way down to $324,695. Not what I'd call worry-free. Well, you might be saying, surely the stock market wouldn't go down again that much, would it? Not only did it drop again, but just a few short years later, the stock market would experience its worst free fall since the Great Depression.
Today's high-flying stock market reminds me a lot of what was going on in 2008. Back then, the market was at all-time highs, and I was getting nervous for my clients that they had so much money in the stock market. Well, we know what happened after that. Many people's 401ks quickly became 201ks.
Today, with banks paying next to nothing in interest, and the reality that the stock market can and always has been a risky place to put all of your money in retirement, how did Tony come up with the idea of creating a simple process built around the personality of savers? Well, believe it or not, his game-changing process of protecting savers' money by providing them a guaranteed income they could never outlive wasn't a new concept at all. but one he witnessed watching his very own granddad enjoy in his retirement.
My granddad started work with a phone company in 1932 and stayed with that same employer all the way until he retired in 1978. Back in those days, all you had to do was keep your nose clean and work for that employer, and when you retired, you got something they called a pension or annuity. This was a guaranteed income Granddad could never outlive. He loved it so much, he called it mailbox money.
Committed to learning as much as he could about all aspects of financial and retirement planning, Tony worked long hours to learn the business while meeting with as many people as he could. And now, as a successful financial advisor with 15 full-time employees to support his efforts, looking back, the road from there to here wasn't an easy one, as his longest tenured employee explains.
I started working for Tony in 2004, and it's just been a great place to work. I remember long ago when Tony would work nights and weekends and make house calls. And now he travels throughout the state of Kentucky to our 3 offices, meeting with sometimes up to 20, 30 people each week in person. Tony has a drive and passion for hard work, just working hard in order to help the savers that just need to worry less and less about their money.
And looking back over that period of time, it wasn't just the idea of Tony willing to meet with clients during nights and weekends. It was also Tony's desire to take additional time from his busy schedule to learn from some of the top minds in the country.
One of the things I'm very thankful of is my father-in-law, who got me started in this business, always encouraged me to train under independent advisors and people who knew a lot more than I did. You know, many of those people I studied under: Ed Slott, CPA, Brian Tracy. I went through the Strategic Coach program. I learned about macroeconomics and opportunity costs from Bob Castellone. And of course, I studied from some of the other greatest minds in the country. In summary, I've never stopped learning new ways to help more people worry less about money.
In 2005, after studying under a lot of different experts and mentors, Tony put all of this together and realized that he needed a process unlike anything else in the industry, one that would be specific to the needs of savers, those like his granddad who wanted to protect more of what they had and keep things simple. He called it the WorryFree Retirement. What Tony soon discovered is that since there was no software out there that was geared towards savers, he'd have to create it.
When Tony hired me some 15 years ago, the primary purpose of my hire was to help him communicate how people can understand retirement. That first started off with just long Excel spreadsheets, very time-consuming, very detailed, and I just put all of those together by hand. Even then, we saw some success in that. But we soon realized with the quantity of clients that we were seeing and the more sophisticated our plans were getting that we had a need for some proprietary software. It's unlike anything else in the industry. We see lots of retirement calculators out there. They're not really tailored to an individual or particular circumstance. And so I'm really proud of what we've developed and what we use on a regular basis with our clients.
As Tony Walker Financial continues to grow, Tony's commitment to his clients to service what he sells is always at the forefront of his mind. This is why he continues to invest more money back into his business by adding more top-notch staff who specialize in certain areas of the planning process. One of those is his income planning specialist, Lisa Allerkamp.
I have a degree in finance, and my background is mainly in banking. And actually, when I started at Tony Walker Financial, I knew very little about retirement planning and how involved it really is. So over the last 4 years, I've learned income planning, and I now oversee the income planning department.
Besides Tony Walker's one-of-a-kind, proprietary, worry-free retirement software for savers, he has also managed to spend his free time authoring 5 books, one a bestseller, write tons of articles and educational publications, produce hundreds of educational videos, and personally write and direct more than 350 episodes of the popular weekly television show, The WorryFree Retirement. So one might ask, after working for nearly 37 years in the business, how and why does Tony continue to see 20 to 30 savers a week, as well as write and direct a weekly TV show? His experience with his father taught him a valuable lesson about life.
At a very young age, I experienced my father having to go into a nursing home as a result of having Alzheimer's disease. This crippling disease took his life very quickly, and it helped me to understand, even as a young man myself, how quickly things can change. It was also about that time that God began to change me. I've realized over time that you really have to take a three-pronged approach to man, money, and God. To handle money properly, to deal with people, I truly believe that advisor must have a strong belief in God.
What we found is Tony is very busy seeing lots of clients, and sometimes clients just need an immediate answer. That's why I'm kind of the in-house fiduciary. So what I can do is pull up the game plan, answer their questions, give them some advice, and let them get on with whatever question that they might have had. Being a salaried fiduciary, it takes some of the pressure off the clients, knowing that we're working in their best interest. I have no gain in selling them something new, so we are just looking out to see what might be the best fit for them and develop that into their game plan.
And while Tony Walker Financial offers a wide variety of financial products and services, the WorryFree Retirement is not just about selling financial products or rolling over 401k plans. Heck, anybody can sell you something. It takes a whole other breed of person that is committed to servicing what they sell. This is why Tony continues to hire those he feels have the best interests of his clients in mind when it comes to servicing their retirement planning needs.
One of my roles at Tony Walker Financial is service after the sale. Part of what I do is taking care of the clients after they become a client with any service needs they may have. I really enjoy the service part of my work here at Tony Walker Financial.
The WorryFree Retirement is a 5-step process that allows Tony Walker Financial to be able to service all of the saver's needs with all of the financial products one might need in retirement: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, bank products, money market accounts, annuities, life insurance, long-term care insurance, and yes, even Medicare supplements. His staff is dedicated to the process and is there to see it through. In fact, industry leaders have taken note of Tony's process and wanted to learn how he does what he does in such an efficient manner.
Our job is to connect financial professionals with the products and services that best fit their clients' needs. One of our top financial professionals in the country is Mr. Tony Walker. In order to better understand and get a first-hand look at his office and his operation, I collected up my team from Des Moines, Iowa, and we flew down to see Tony in Kentucky. I can tell you in conclusion, Tony has built an incredibly well-oiled machine that not only allows him to sell a large number of clients, but to service them as well.
With Tony, not only do you get access to one of the most recognized and knowledgeable individual producers of annuities in the country, you also have available to you someone who is well-versed in the investment world, dating all the way back to 1986, when he first began offering investments of all kinds. Today, the client can take advantage of the safety and security offered by fixed annuities, and also Tony's expertise in the investment world with the introduction in 2017 of his Charles Schwab platforms for savers.
Once folks decide to work with us and they'd like to invest some money in our Charles Schwab brokerage account platform, we get the directive from Tony or one of our other advisors with their game plan in terms of the business we're going to be doing with them. And myself or one of my team will reach out to verify their information and the work we're going to be doing for them. And then we'll get their paperwork to them, whatever method they prefer, electronically, in person, via mail. And then we get their accounts established and work on getting the assets either rolled over or transferred from the previous company. And we keep them up to date and informed throughout the entire process.
So how does Tony do it? How does he successfully tailor a plan for the saver, utilizing both fixed annuities, investments, life insurance, long-term care, and a whole host of other products to help savers better use, enjoy, and protect their hard-earned money? It's called the Worry-Free Retirement process, and it includes these 5 steps. The first step of the process is to meet either by phone or in person to determine what the saver is worried about, their biggest financial concerns moving forward, and how best Tony Walker Financial can create a plan to deal with them.
One of the things my father used to always say is nothing stays the same, and boy was he right, especially when it comes to retirement planning. In meeting with so many savers over the years, this is why I've spent so much time and money to invest in software and staff, because I want my clients to be taken care of, not only while I'm here, but long after I'm gone. We have set up in place a process that will continue Tony Walker Financial to take care of our clients all the way through their retirement, and I'm very proud of that.
The second step of the process is what Tony refers to as the assessment. This is where Tony takes the client's information and utilizes his vast knowledge of planning to lay out the game plan, and then turn that information over to one of his trained income specialists to place that information on their proprietary software.
The second step of the process is generally another appointment, again lasting 20 to 30 minutes, we call the assessment. During this appointment, this is where the client will receive a full binder, free written game plan of all of our recommendations and determinations of what we think is in their best interest.
A lot of work goes into each income plan. It's rewarding to see a client come in with really no game plan, nothing in mind to see them through retirement. And as we meet and put the game plan together, present it to them to actually have something to fall back on and rely on through their retirement years.
Next comes the third step of the process, providing to the prospective client a complete written game plan personalized to their specific situation.
The third step of our process is something we call the commitment. And this is a very important part of the process because in many cases I run into folks who have been working with advisors who have rushed into the decision-making process and thus, in many cases, have regrets about where they have invested their money. Not so with Tony Walker Financial. In fact, we take pride in the fact that we encourage our prospective clients to take their binder home, look at our suggestions, and think about it to be sure they feel it is right for them.
During this face-to-face appointment, either Tony or one of his trained salaried fiduciaries will go over the details contained in this binder so you can then review it at your leisure. And best of all, the complete game plan is absolutely free. In fact, as Tony likes to say, you are free to take it home and study it further before making any final decisions.
One of the things that surprised me over the years is how quickly savers who, after working 30, 40 years slaving away at their job and piling money into a 401k plan, can quickly move that over to the first complete stranger they meet. You know, retirement planning is more than just investing your money. Before you invest your money, you got to make sure that that retirement planning firm is local, that they have fiduciaries on staff who are salaried, and also that you're going to get a game plan that you can monitor not only now, but long into the future.
Assuming the saver is ready to move forward with some or all of Tony's recommendations, the fourth step of the worry-free process is called the implementation. This is where Tony's team of service experts will begin moving the monies in your 401k, bank savings, brokerage account, lump sum pension, or other monies to Tony Walker Financial.
This is where our wonderful staff at Tony Walker Financial steps in, and we call this part of the process the onboarding process. And there's basically 3 different departments. We have the investment department, where we place our money through our custodian, Charles Schwab. We also have our annuity division, where we place all of our fixed indexed annuities and immediate annuities. And then finally, we have our insurance department, which includes life insurance, long-term care insurance, and Medicare supplements.
Our job in the annuity department is to take the funds that are being transferred into the annuities, make sure that they're properly placed, that the contracts get issued so that they can be delivered to the client. Once those contracts arrive in our office, we place them in a really nice binder and update all the work that we've done and call the client and set up a delivery appointment. At that delivery appointment, the client gets one more opportunity to ask any questions they have about the contract and make sure it's the right decision for them.
Tony likes to refer to this step as the onboarding process, whereby Tony's team of service experts will do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
One of my roles as the in-house fiduciary here in the Louisville office is to assist our clients in the application and onboarding process for insurance products. Unlike annuities and investments, insurance products like life insurance, long-term care, and Medicare supplements may take a little bit longer to issue due to these products being based on someone's health. Although the onboarding process may take a little bit longer, we take great pride in keeping the clients informed along the way and be sure to answer any questions they might have.
You know, retiring and moving your 401k over to a firm to handle your money is kind of like flying. You know, you show up at the airport, and let's say you've never flown before, you're going to have to put a lot of faith and trust and confidence in those people who are going to fly that plane and get you home safely. At Tony Walker Financial, we take that very, very seriously, and we want to make sure you understand that we'll do all the heavy lifting, we'll do all the flying. At Tony Walker Financial, you don't worry about the details, you let us handle that for you.
Once the decision is made to transfer your 401k, IRA, bank savings accounts, or other assets to Tony Walker Financial, you will be invited to another appointment with Tony or one of his salaried fiduciaries in order to review the implementation and answer any further questions you might have.
Once the client is onboarded and the money is moved over to Tony Walker Financial, the 5th step of our process is one that I'm most proud of. You see, anybody can sell you something, but it's another thing to be in there for the long term with that client through retirement. In other words, is that firm going to service what they sell? Well, at Tony Walker Financial, we are well equipped to do just that. In fact, we have 3 paid salaried fiduciaries who do not work on a commission, whose primary focus is on current clients and making sure that when, not if, changes come their way, that our clients can rest assured that someone, including myself, is there to see them through those changes.
Bottom line, Tony wants to be certain that you are satisfied with your game plan and happy with their services.
One of the times I really enjoy with clients is that delivery appointment. The delivery appointment is kind of that final culmination of all accounts are established, annuities, contracts are ready to be delivered. We tie up any loose ends and really slow down and go over the entire game plan. And clients really enjoy that time because it allows them to spend a little bit more time with me going page by page, account by account to really better understand things.
With such a well-oiled machine, you might be saying to yourself, this is all well and good, and I'd like to find out more about working with Tony Walker Financial, but what happens to Tony Walker Financial if and when something happens to Tony? Not to worry, Tony's got this covered.
There's probably not a week that goes by that someone doesn't ask me, a prospective client, Tony, if I decide to do business with you, what happens to Tony Walker Financial after something happens to you? And quite frankly, it's a very good question. And this is why I've spent so much time and money investing back into my business. And while I see 20 to 30 people a week, I realize I may not be here forever either. So with that said, I have 3 full-time fiduciaries and a full-time staff that's set up to take care of your needs long after Tony Walker is no longer here. You have the trust and confidence in knowing that my staff is well trained in the process and is going to be here long after the sale.
We hope you've enjoyed this informative video brought to you by the retirement planning specialists at Tony Walker Financial. If you or someone you know is nearing retirement, recently retired, or been retired for years, now is the time to consider getting everything under one roof with a local retirement planning firm equipped to meet the challenges of retiring in these uncertain times. A retirement planning firm guided by values and biblical principles that savers can count on. And best of all, these highly trained retirement professionals at Tony Walker Financial are right in our own backyard. So if you have a 401k plan from a previous employer, thinking of retiring soon, maybe you've been retired for years but realize you don't have a trusted advisor in your corner, and finally, you might be that individual who just received an inheritance and has no clue how best to manage it. Why don't you do this right now? Log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com and click on the Let's Get Started button. It's free and it's easy to do. Whether it's setting up a 10-minute free fiduciary phone call or scheduling a personal time to meet one-on-one at either our Bowling Green, Louisville, or Lexington, Kentucky offices, we're here to help. And best of all, there is absolutely no cost or obligation on your part. And if logging on to the internet is not convenient, why not just pick up the phone right now and call the toll-free number on your screen? Tony's offices will be happy to talk with you by phone to see how we can be of help.
Tony Walker Financial, this is Shanna.
And oh yeah, rest assured that any personal information provided to our staff is held in the strictest of confidence and never shared with vendors or other advisors not affiliated with Tony Walker Financial. So what are you waiting for? Take action and learn how a safe and simple game plan is the key to a worry-free retirement. We look forward to speaking with you soon.